Hello, everyone. Welcome to Buddha Zen Wisdom, where we accompany you every day. These nuts are secretly destroying your kidneys. Doctors warn that regardless of age, you should eat less of them. Doctor, my back hurts so much that I can't even pull up my pants, said John, holding his lower back as he shuffled into the clinic. His face was pale, and beads of cold sweat were forming on his forehead. He tried to sit down but immediately jerked up upon touching the chair back, wincing in pain. It's been like this for a month now. It hurts whether I'm lying down or sitting. Even turning over in bed at night is excruciating, he complained. John often woke up in the middle of the night from the sharp pain, his back drenched in sweat. He had always thought it was just a common issue from sitting too long at his office desk and believed it would pass. But recently, the pain had worsened, and even going to the bathroom had become uncomfortable. Today, he couldn't take it anymore and went to the hospital. The ultrasound results left him stunned, kidney stones. John couldn't believe it. I eat healthily. How could this happen? The doctor frowned, looking at the ultrasound report, and said sternly, "There's a 0.8 centimeter stone in your right kidney. That's not small." John's eyes widened in shock. Kidney stones? I don't eat junk food. The doctor looked up and asked, "What do you usually eat?" John scratched his head. "Nothing special, just some nuts as a snack, sometimes even as a meal." The doctor shook his head and sighed. "That's the problem. Do you know how high the oxalate content is in cashews?" John frowned. "I thought nuts were healthy." The doctor pointed at the report and sighed. "Healthy eating requires the right approach. Eating like this is just creating stones for yourself. Cashews, almonds, and other nuts are particularly high in oxalate. Once oxalate enters your body, it binds tightly to calcium, forming calcium oxalate crystals. If you don't drink enough water and your urine output is low, these small crystals accumulate over time, like scale in a pipe, growing larger and eventually blocking your kidneys." John's face turned pale, and a chill ran down his spine. He had always thought nuts were healthy, but he never imagined that eating them the wrong way could burden his kidneys so heavily. "Doctor, can I still eat nuts in the future?" The doctor remained serious and said slowly, "It's not about whether you eat them, but how you eat them. Many people, like you, think nuts are a health miracle but overlook the hidden health risks. These risks might be something you encounter every day. Why do seemingly harmless nuts harm your kidneys? You might also think that nuts are a healthy snack, good for your health. But did you know that some nuts not only fail to promote health, but might also steal your kidney health? Is it the way you eat them, or do nuts themselves hide health risks? Today, we'll uncover the truth. 1. The invisible killer in nuts, oxalate. Oxalate is like invisible glue. Once it enters your body, it binds tightly to calcium, forming calcium oxalate crystals. These small crystals might start as tiny as grains of sand, but if you don't drink enough water and urinate infrequently, they can grow like snowballs, eventually turning into hard kidney stones that get stuck in your kidneys. 2. Which nuts are high in oxalate? Cashews, 49 milligrams per 100 g, high oxalate food. Almonds, 40 milligrams per 100 g. Peanuts, 15 to 20 milligrams per 100 g, compared to spinach, which contains 97 milligrams of oxalate per 100 g. These nuts are only slightly lower in oxalate content. 3. Long-term overconsumption. The consequences are worse than you think. Calcium loss, osteoporosis, impaired kidney function, chronic kidney disease, urinary tract infections, kidney stone surgery. Your kidneys and bones could suffer because of these small snacks. The 4 hidden dangers of your healthy snack. Your kidneys might be silently bearing the burden. Eating a few nuts every day is good for your health. You probably believe this too. Indeed, nuts are rich in unsaturated fatty acids, protein, and minerals, which are beneficial for cardiovascular health. But did you know that eating them the wrong way not only fails to promote health, but might also turn them into kidney killers? Especially these 4 types of nuts, which hide unexpected health risks. Eating them wrong could make your kidneys give up first. Trap 1. High oxalate nuts, the stepping stones to kidney stones. Can you imagine that eating nuts improperly could fill your kidneys with tiny stones? Cashews, almonds, and peanuts are extremely high in oxalate. Cashews, for example, contain 49 milligrams of oxalate per 100 g, making them a high oxalate food. Oxalate is like cement powder. Once it enters your body, it binds with calcium to form calcium oxalate crystals. These small crystals start like sand, but if you don't drink enough water and your urine is concentrated, they slowly grow, eventually forming hard kidney stones that get stuck in your kidneys, causing unbearable pain. Trap 2. High phosphorus nuts, the accelerator of chronic kidney disease. Sunflower seeds and hazelnuts are extremely high in phosphorus. While healthy people can handle them to some extent, for those with already impaired kidney function, they are a deadly hazard. Sunflower seeds contain up to 660 milligrams of phosphorus per 100 g. Phosphorus is like an invisible toxin. People with poor kidney function can excrete excess phosphorus in time, leading to vascular calcification, accelerated kidney failure, osteoporosis, increased fracture risk, and worsen conditions for those with chronic kidney disease. If you have kidney issues, you must reduce your intake of high phosphorus nuts. Trap 3. High sodium nuts, the invisible overtime for your kidneys. Salted cashews, honey-roasted peanuts, and salted pistachios are so addictive that you can't stop eating them. But did you know that you might be quietly overworking your kidneys? A small pack of salted peanuts, 100 g, contains up to 880 milligrams of sodium, equivalent to half a day's sodium intake. If you also have a bowl of soup and some pickles, your daily sodium intake will exceed the limit. The dangers of high sodium intake include increased blood pressure, accelerated kidney function decline, water and sodium retention, increased kidney burden, and higher cardiovascular disease risk. Trap 4. Moldy nuts, the invisible killer of aflatoxin. The healthy nuts you think you're eating might already be hiding a deadly threat. If stored improperly, nuts can breed aflatoxin, a toxin classified as a Group 1 carcinogen by the World Health Organization, WHO. Why are nuts prone to aflatoxin? High fat plus high humidity equals a breeding ground for mold. Nuts contain a lot of oil, and in humid environments, they easily grow mold. Aflatoxin is the toxic byproduct of these molds. Low-priced nuts equal high risk. Some low-priced nuts might not have undergone strict quality control during storage and transportation, making them more prone to mold. The 3 major hazards of aflatoxin: direct damage to the liver and kidneys. Long-term intake, even in small doses, can induce chronic kidney disease and even kidney failure. It can also attack liver cells, increasing the risk of liver cancer. It enters the body silently and is hard to detect. Aflatoxin has no obvious smell, and ordinary people can't tell if it's present. Some nuts might look normal but still contain the toxin. It's heat-resistant and can't be easily removed. Aflatoxin can withstand temperatures up to 300 degrees Celsius. Ordinary frying or baking methods can eliminate it. Even processed, nuts might still contain the toxin. How to avoid moldy nuts. Remember these 4 tips. Check the appearance. If the nut surface has mold spots, unusual colors, or looks black or yellow, throw them away. Smell them. Normal nuts should have a natural aroma. If they smell musty, bitter, or rancid, don't eat them. Buy wisely. Choose reputable brands and vacuum-packed nuts. Avoid buying bulk or low-price nuts. Store properly. After opening, store them in a dry, cool place, preferably in the fridge, and consume within 2 weeks. Remember, no matter how cheap the nuts are, if they're moldy, don't eat them. Aflatoxin is an invisible poison. Once it enters your body, it can affect kidney health and even cause serious diseases. Healthy nut eating isn't just about choosing the right types, but also the right storage methods. Be careful. Your healthy snack might be a time bomb for your kidneys. Nuts are nutritious, and eating them in moderation is good for your health. But did you know that overeating them could turn them into health killers, especially for your kidneys? Here are some hidden risks you shouldn't ignore. Trap 1. High calories. Your weight might be silently spinning out of control. You might think eating nuts won't make you fat, but you're wrong. Nuts are higher in calories than you think. For example, 100 g of cashews equals 553 kilocalories, equivalent to 2 bowls of rice. 100 g of walnuts equals 654 kilocalories, equivalent to a fried chicken meal. A small handful, 30 g, of nuts equals the calories of a whole chocolate bar. If you munch on nuts while binge watching, you might unknowingly consume thousands of calories, leading to fat accumulation, weight gain, and overburdened kidneys. Trap 2. High fat. Your kidneys might be gasping for air. Although nuts are rich in good fats, overeating them can still affect blood circulation, leading to increased blood lipids, making blood thicker and increasing the kidney's filtration burden. High-fat diets might cause glomerulosclerosis, accelerating kidney function decline. Fat accumulation increases insulin resistance, leading to high blood sugar, which is an accomplice of kidney disease. Trap 3. High sodium. Your kidneys might be overworking. Don't underestimate a small bag of salted cashews. Its sodium content might be higher than a whole plate of stir-fried vegetables. For example, 100 g of salted peanuts equals 800 to 880 milligrams of sodium, equivalent to half a day's sodium intake. If paired with heavy flavored foods like hot pot or barbecue, your kidney burden could skyrocket. Effects of high sodium intake: increased blood pressure, heavier kidney burden, water and sodium retention, induced kidney edema, increased cardiovascular disease risk. Many people think unsalted nuts are low in sodium, but in reality, some processed nuts still contain added sodium. Always check the nutrition label before buying nuts. Trap 4. Overeating nuts might overwhelm you. Have you ever experienced the following after eating nuts? Bad breath. The high oil content in nuts might affect the balance of oral bacteria. Bloating and indigestion. Your gastrointestinal tract might not fully digest the dietary fiber in nuts. If you already have stomach or intestinal sensitivity, eat nuts in moderation, or your stomach and mouth will protest. How to eat nuts healthily. 4 key points to avoid kidney risks. Is eating nuts really healthy? The answer depends on how you eat them. Eat them right, and they're a health booster. Eat them wrong, and they could burden your kidneys. Remember these 4 principles to make nuts your health partner, not a health killer. 1. Choose the right nuts. Low salt, low sugar, minimal processing. The health value of nuts is 80% determined by how they're processed. Salted nuts, sugar-coated nuts, and cream-flavored nuts are high in sodium, sugar, and calories, which can easily burden your kidneys. Opt for raw nuts, lightly roasted nuts, or nuts in their shells, which have fewer additives and retain more natural nutrients, making them more kidney-friendly. When buying, remember these 3 key points. The simpler the ingredient list, the better. Ideally, it should only say nuts. Avoid nuts fried in vegetable oil or heavily seasoned. Choose raw or low-temperature roasted nuts to reduce oxalate damage to your kidneys. 2. Control your portion size. Don't overeat. Recommended daily intake. For the general population, a small handful, 20-30 g per day. For those with kidney issues, no more than 10-15 g per day to avoid added burden. Reference: 20 g of nuts is about the size of a small cup lid. Do you have these unconscious overeating habits? Munching on nuts while watching TV and realizing you finished the whole bag. Using nuts as a meal replacement and eating until your mouth is dry but still reaching for more. Solution: use small plates to portion your nuts instead of eating directly from the bag. Pair nuts with other foods like yogurt or fruit to avoid overeating at once. 3. Drink more water after eating nuts to help your kidneys detox. The oxalate in nuts increases kidney burden. Only by drinking enough water can you reduce the risk of kidney stones. Recommended water intake. General population, 1,500 to 2,000 milliliters, 6 to 8 cups per day. Those prone to stones, 2,000 to 2,500 milliliters, 8 to 10 cups per day. Water drinking tip. Drink at least 1 cup of water within an hour after eating nuts to help dilute oxalate in your urine. Avoid pairing nuts with strong tea, as the combined oxalate increases the risk of kidney stones. 4. Don't eat nuts alone. Pair them with these foods for better health. Best pairings. Vegetables, like spinach or lettuce, which provide dietary fiber and reduce gastrointestinal burden. Fruits, like apples or bananas, as vitamin C helps metabolize oxalate, reducing stone risk. Milk or yogurt. Calcium combined with oxalate, reducing intestinal absorption and lowering kidney stone risk. Avoid these pairings. Nuts with red meat, like steak, high fat and calories increase kidney metabolic burden. Nuts with coffee or strong tea. Combined oxalate increases stone risk. Conclusion: you might be nurturing illness instead of health. Eating nuts the wrong way might silently turn on the red light for your kidneys. These 4 types of nuts, if eaten too much or incorrectly, could become invisible killers for your kidneys, especially if you use them as a meal replacement. If you find yourself making these dietary mistakes, it's time to adjust. Remember the 3 golden rules for healthy nut consumption. Choose the right types. Opt for raw nuts and avoid salted, sugar-coated, or heavily processed nuts. Control your intake. For the general population, 20-30 g per day. For those with kidney issues, no more than 15 g per day. Pair with healthy foods. Combine nuts with vegetables, fruits, and milk, and drink plenty of water to reduce oxalate deposits. By following these 3 key points, nuts can still be a healthy friend. Do you still dare to eat nuts without restraint? Now that you know how to eat nuts correctly, quickly check if you've fallen into any of these nut traps. Grabbing a big handful every day and not being able to stop. Preferring salted, honey-roasted, or cream-flavored nuts. Never drinking water, and even pairing nuts with coffee or strong tea. If you've been doing these, don't worry. Starting today, adopt a scientific approach to eating nuts and make them a true health booster. Did you eat nuts correctly today? Feel free to leave a comment and see how many others have fallen into these traps. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. We hope today's content resonated with you. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the subscribe button so we can accompany you every day. Let's grow together, stay happy, and age gracefully. See you next time